Coach.
All right, so for those who weren't able to make it to the game, these are the highlights from the 50th straight win here. Starting off on the defensive side of the ball, first of all, our effort was outstanding. It reminded me of those Trinity teams of 2003, 2005, those defenses. This first play, this is a big stop here. We're on fourth down, and Brian Dona is our junior corner, who I've talked a lot about this year. Is a very tough, competitive, smart football player. He understands the down and distance. He understands the split of the receiver, and he undercuts this route and intercepts the ball to end that drive by Bowdoin. He's been making plays like that all year for us. In the run game, Bowdoin came in. I thought the thing that we needed to do, that we've been inconsistent with defensively, is we needed to stop the run. And that was our main focus. I thought Bowdoin was very well coached on their offensive line, ran the ball real well, had a very good tailback, and our nose guards, Kyle McGuire and Albert Coleman, and our boundary end, Nate Sear, and our outside linebacker, Mike Weatherby, just played really well. Very physical. You can see right here against the counter play that Bowdoin's running here. They're going to pull the guard and bring the motion guy in as a second puller. Mike Weatherby does a great job of squeezing and hitting the puller. Actually ends up coming off on the block as well. Sophomore Frank Leiva's finally healthy and getting on the field a little bit more for us, and he does a nice job in this play, playing over the top of the block. And we held them down in the run game, which was big for us. Another opportunity here. What we tried to do here is we took advantage of some things that we saw that they did, and right here we're going to bring our entire front and move them to the left here and not have a contained player. Basically almost a zone pressure where our Mike linebacker will play over the top, and Mike Weatherby comes downhill, and just great responsibility football, coming down and taking the back while Frank Leiva played over the top for the reverse. We got a couple of those tackles for losses during the game. Here's something we hadn't done at all prior to this game, bringing some pressure out of the secondary. Yosa Nosamieffen, our freshman corner, got his first career start in this game, and he comes off the edge in this corner blitz and gets a sack. Big play for us, knocking them into a 3rd and long. We showed the blitz from Weatherby earlier. Now we're bringing a blitz from the other side. We're going to move our defensive line this way and bring Rob Gow and Tom Szymanski off the edge in a field pressure. This was actually a halftime adjustment for us. It's the pressure we weren't using in the first half, but the guys executed it really well here on this 2nd and 11. Got another tackle for a loss and put them in another 3rd and long. Big stop here. We had a turnover on offense. Probably our biggest problem in this game is we turned the ball over 4 times, which has been something we haven't been doing. So Bowdoin gets the ball down here, 1st and goal on the 3 after we turn it over. And our defense goes on the field and makes a big goal line stand. Really impressed with the way the players played here. This was a play that Bowdoin had not shown on film, so something our players hadn't seen. And you're going to see defensive end Nate Sear playing real low and aggressive here. Actually ends up taking out 2 offensive linemen, leaving the Mike linebacker Kevin Martin free. And we get a good job here by Yosa and Mike Weatherby setting an edge on the play. So on this 1st down play, we end up knocking them backwards. After a 2nd down play where we tackle them for a gain of 1, this is now 3rd down on the goal line, and they're going to run an outside zone play, which is a play that we had practiced against. And you're going to see Tom Szymanski set an edge here, taking on 2 blockers, forcing the ball inside, which is what we worked on against this play. And then Rob Gow crash blitzes inside, ends up making a tackle for a 7-yard loss. Big play. And on 4th down, they went for it. We were able to bat the pass down. So that was nice to get that goal line stand, and our defensive guys were fired up about that. On offense, we talked earlier about getting Sonny on the field a little bit more and doing some read stuff, and I thought just simple plays like this. This turns into about an 8-9 yard game, but it just keeps the defense on their heels when they can't just focus in on Bunker and Crick, because we're running a read play here. We've got Bunker and Crick both in the backfield, and we're faking the handoff to Bunker. Crick's coming across the block, and Sonny's keeping the ball. And just plays like that, I think, we didn't have to do it a lot, but it loosens up the defense a little bit. Here's just an unbelievable run by Ben Crick. You're going to see this. It's blocked up very well up front. Will Linner, our left tackle, does a good job here of stretching that 5 technique. And Joe Magardino, our center, reaches the 3 technique. That's not an easy thing to do. Number 73 there. But I want you to watch Ben Crick at this point here because the rest of it's all him. He breaks a tackle there. He breaks a tackle there. He breaks another tackle. And he goes all the way the distance for a touchdown. Ben had 10 carries for 110 yards, so it was great to get him back on the field after he missed a week from injury. Bunker also had the best game that he's had this year, and real big difference was he just ran downhill much harder than he had done previously. And I think it helped to have the read plays involved and have the defense have to worry about Sonny, but Evan rushed for 154 yards. He's now in second place in NESCAC history. And you can see oftentimes it was just, like the Evan of old, where we completely miss a linebacker right here, and Evan just runs through him. And then he runs through a couple more tackles, and he had a big game for us. It was nice to see him break out again. Another one here on the middle zone. We talked earlier about the injuries. Both our tackles are out this game. Franco Serrao, who's really a redshirt freshman here after an injury last year, does such a great job in this play. Not only does he reach the 5 technique and block him, he ends up also getting the linebacker. So he basically blocks 2 players, letting Evan Bunker get to the edge on this play. Another run by Ben Crick here. He bounces it outside, which, Ben has that extra gear, that extra speed. This is actually a downhill power play that they spill defensively, but Ben bounces it outside. Like I said, he's just got an extra gear when he gets there. So, our run game got on track. I think a lot of it had to do with being able to run some of the read stuff, and then the running backs did a great job. Now, when you're able to run the ball, it makes your play action a lot better. And, Sonny's completing 65% of his passes. He's doing a real good job on the play action. On this first touchdown pass here, he hits Adrian Johnson down the seam off a play action, splits the safeties. Been having a lot of success with that play. Similar type play here. You're going to see this from the sideline view. We're going to play action fake to Evan Bunker. The defense is so jacked up to stop the run. We get a lot of free releases with our receivers. And here, Sonny's got to make a decision whether to hit Bunker down the middle or Ragone down the seam, and that safety's kind of leaning towards Bunker, so he throws a nice ball to Ragone. That's a good catch that he makes too, because that corner kind of squeezed that seam ball. Another one here too. We've got Bunker and Crick in the backfield, which tends to get the defense up on the run plays, fake in the middle zone, and you're going to see Chris Ragone again with a free release because that outside linebacker is so worried about the run play. He gets a nice free release, and we're going to basically put 2 guys down the seam here, Chris here, and the outside receiver here to put this safety in a bind. And Sonny throws a bullet to Chris in the end zone. It's these plays look really good when you're able to run the ball well, because then the linebackers bite and you tend to get some people open downfield. All right, there were also 2 special teams plays that were big in this game. This first one, you can see the scoreboard. It's 21-7. It's a minute 29 left. Our defense just made a big stop, and we basically, my thought was they were going to punt the ball. We were going to run the clock out and go in at 21-7. But I thought if we could get a good return, maybe we could go for another score. And guys really executed this well. We've got some great blocks. Let's start off. Watch Yosa. This is Yosa Nosimief, our freshman. He was our special teams player of the week. He's been doing this every week. I want you to just watch his block. And I'm just going to let the film run and you can watch him block. Because he blocks that guy, and he's still blocking that guy, and he's still blocking that guy. He blocks the guy for like 15 seconds, and he does that every week. He just gives great effort. He's really good at that. But Ian Duggar does a great job here. We worked on this with the 2 returners against the rugby kick. We actually have a wall set up to the right, and Ian does a nice job of doing what we usually don't want your returner to do, which is lose a little ground, but we worked on this week, trying to lose some ground and get into the wall. And that return right there allowed us to go for another score, and Puzo hit Adrian Johnson 3 plays later so that it was 27-7 at halftime, gave us another score. Our kick return unit has been doing a very good job. the last few weeks in here. You know, Darian Myers, the freshman, is going to take the lead from Ian Duggar. You know, Ian does a great job without the ball in his hands of leading Darian up the field. Get a great kick-out block from Will Herbert right here. Again, here's Yosa, who we were just talking about on the punt return, and Paul McCarthy, who's been doing a great job on this team. They execute some tough blocks right at the point of attack. And then Darian kind of takes it from there. Cuts back against the grain, makes a couple people miss. And it's a lot easier to play offense when you start with the ball on your own 35-yard line. So a couple big plays. If we can continue to do that, it'll help us win games.